We'll proceed with the next session on ECG signal processing that will be again conveyed by Mr. Anil. Mr. Anil, you can proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So, let's start. Today, we are going to conduct seminar on ECG signal processing. So, basically, we cover up in this session that we go for introduction part, significance of ECG, ECG leads, waveform in ECG waves that peak URST waves, and ECG waveform using Python. We are going to giving it two live demos. We are going to create a waveform through a given data which is about 3.5 7.5 lakhs above on data in that text file, and we are going to also given another heart rate waveform through Python which is above 7,000 lines. So we are going to given these two live demo with this session at the end of the session. So let's start with introduction. So what is ECG? What we represent, what we get notified by ECG. So the graphical representation of electrical activity to the heart in detail, which is come in a graph with the help of a machine that we called as ECG. The machine we are used to record the electrical activity of heart is called electrocardiograph, and the graph on which the electrical activity record is called electrocardiogram. So basically in ECG there are two parts. One is machinery part, one is graph where the ECG formed. So the machinery part is called as electrocardiograph, and the part where the ECG formed in a graph paper is called electrocardiogram. You can see this is type of machine which we are equating for ECG. So it is called electrocardiograph, and this is the paper on which we get the record of the heart rate. It is called electrocardiogram. So significance of ECG. So what we get from ECG, what the significance, what we can find out from the ECG report. So basically, ECG gives information about heart rate and rhythm of the heart. So the physical orientation, where the heart is present means where the what's the axis of the heart we can get from the ECG report. So basically, it's a diagnosis tool to detect hypo hypothesis, insignia, infection, arithmetic conduction problems, and pacemaker activity. So ECG does not provide any information about mechanical activities. So these are some significance and drawbacks of ECG. So let's proceed ahead. We are going for ECG leads. So basically, we have to for calculation of ECG. There are some leads to be attached to our body, which is getting connected to our body with the machinery part, and there are some leads that positive and negative part of those leads. So there are basically 12 leads in a ECG sector. So three are bipolar link leads, three are augmented link leads, which are unipolar, and six are just leads. You can see that how ECG get connected that in right arm and left arm, in right leg and in left leg, and how six elements are connected in chest part. So bipolar link leads. So there are three leads which are bipolar link leads. The lead one is connected to the left arm positive side, and the and right arm negative side. The negative side is connected to the right arm. Sorry, lead one positive side is connected to left arm of the body, and negative side is connected to right arm of the body. Whereas lead two is connected to the negative part of the right arm, and the positive part is connected to left leg, and lead 3 is connected to left arm of negative lead 3 negative negative conductivity is connected to left arm, and positive conductivity is connected to left leg. So we can see that lead 1 is connected to right arm as negative and left arm as positive, as you can see there. Right arm as a negative and left arm as positive, whereas lead 2 is connected to right arm negative and left leg positive. That's right arm negative and left leg positive, whereas lead 3 is connected to left arm negative and left leg positive, as you can see. left arm connected to negative and positive. So going forward, here's the periodical of chest, how the leads are connected in chest part. So basically, there is two axillary line. One is mid curvilinear line, which can you see here, and one is axillary line, which can you see here. So in a V4, V5, and VC, these connected are both are connected in parallel. We can connect these three are in parallelly, and V1 is connected to the right side of the heart. You can see both intercostal of heart, and V2 is connected to the left intercostal of heart, and V2 and V4, between V2 and V4, and horizontally we connected the V3. So this is the six leads where we connected in a chest part. So, augmented limb leads. So, what are the augmented limb leads? AVL attached to right arm, and AVL which is attached to left arm, and AVF which is attached to the left foot. These are the augmented limb leads which are connected with our condition, whereas now we connect to right arm or left foot or right foot. So, how it works? Uh, just a minute. So when an electrical potential is generated in a section of a heart, an electric current is conducted to the body surface in a specific area. So basically, let's provide a conduction system of the heart. Let's put a demo that we have four parts of heart, which are right atrium, right vertices, and left vertices. So this first node is called as SA node, which is also called as sinusoidal node. By its name, we can see that it is found in the right atrium of the heart. This is also called as natural pacemaker of heart because this is where this is the where the beginning of conduction is take place. So after that, we are going forward to AV node, which is also called as anteroventricular node. So by this name, it can be found that in the border of right atrium and right ventricle. You can see that it is the border of right atrium and right ventricle. So it's also known as gatekeeper of the heart because it decides whether which impulse to pass through heart or not. So basically, when conduction takes place from SA node, it passes through AV node and go to there. So AV node basically is working like a gatekeeper. If it produces a low signal or low frequency, it will block its frequency and it will generate its own frequency or conduct its own frequency. So rather than after this, it is going to bundle of fish, which is connected. Conduction takes place from every node to bundle of fish. Then is separated to different branches, which is called as right bundle branches and left bundle branches. As you can see, then these are bisected to the two heart segment, which are also called as Purkinje fibers, which you can see. So it's a diagram that we have demonstrated, and it's a real case where actually heart is tested. So it's the SA node, which is we call sinoatrial node, which is the AV node, which is we call atrioventricular node, and this is the His bundle, which are conducting from there to there. His bundle. Then it's separated into two parts. This is left bundle and this is right bundle branch. Then these are the conduction at the axial point of the heart, which is called Purkinje fibers. And these are the four segments. This is the right atrium. This segment is right atrium. This is left atrium. This segment is left atrium. This is left ventricle. This is left ventricle, as you can say, and this is right ventricle. So, what is inherent rate in a heart system? So basically, when conduction takes place from SA node to and complete the flow to AV node, then bundle of fish, then left and right branches, then Purkinje fibers, then it generates about 60 to 80 beats per minute when complete takes place from SA node to Purkinje fibers. So it takes us from SA node, then it goes to AV node, then bundle of pieces, then left and right, and then potential fibers. So if in any case, if we found any blockage in this area and it cannot conduct from SN or cannot conduct from here to there, we conduction not take place, then it creates low frequency which it will not allow. AV node it will not allow if it create SN or create a low frequency. So in that case, Avinar starts its own conduction. It starts with on conduction and goes to bundle of fish and left and right branches and then Purkinje fibers. The whole continuous flow, when completed, it will generated about 40 to 60 beats per minute. As you can say, every node to Purkinje fiber, it will generate 40 to 60 beats per minute. So basically, in a human, average heart rate should be within 60 to 80. So by this flow, by this by this beats per minute, we can place a if any block is found in heart, we place a pacemaker in heart, right? So that pacemaker, how we decide how much frequency it should provide or how much conductivity it should provide. So by this calculation only we can get that how much it should be provided and which area it is blocked. By this only we can get the area where his heart is not working or heart is blocked. So after this, if any block is found in AV node, and then bundle of his started of his own conduction and goes through right and left branches and goes to Purkinje fibers. Then it conducted a 40 to 60 because AV node and Purkinje fibers is almost about same. So it also provides 40 to 60 bits per minute. If any block is found in this area, SA node, AV node, and bundle of which is not properly working, then the right and left branches of the right and left branches creates its own conductivity and completed the conduction at potential fibers. Then it will create about 20 to 40 bits per minute. Uh, at last, if everything is well, potential fibers can create its own conductivity, which called as which is lies in between 20 to 40 beats per minute. So it is the inherited how our beats per minute is calculated and how we can segregate where the block is we can find out. So after this, there is waveform in ECG. There is some notified point we have to always notice. So there is always positive electrode is always reference to electrode. So depolarization wave move towards the positive electrode gives positive deflection. When depolarization wave moves away from a positive electrode, it gives negative deflection. So let's talk about waveforms. So basically, there are three waveforms created in our ECG form. There are P waveform and QRS complex and T waveform. Whereas P wave also known as arterial depolarization, QRS is also known as ventricular depolarization, T wave is also known as ventricular repolarization. So these are the some base terminology of a ECG of a ECG report. So first is baseline, which is denoted as a flat and straight and isoelectric line. Second is waveform. So from baseline is deviation from towards up or downward. It's called as waveform. So third one is segment. It's the line between the two waves connected to the line between the two waves, which is called as segment. The interval is the addition of waveform and the segment, and the complex is there if multiple ECG records are founded in at the same time. That is the combination of several waveforms without segment. That is we called complex. So how it takes place? As you can see in ECG report, the first wave is called as P wave. This is called as PQ segment. The third one is PRS, QRS complex, and then we got a ST segment. Then we got a P wave. So let's talk about P wave. So how P wave is created? So PF shows the article depolarization. Its normally time duration is 0.1 second. Basically, it's 2.5 small square in graph. As you can see, it can take two square of graph. So presence of P waves is ECG in ECG strips shows the sinusoid rhythm. Means it shows the SA node which we already discussed in previous, which is SA node when we start conduction. The P node start the we get the P node at the time. Sometimes we get inverted P node. So what's the condition? So normally in V1 and V2, when V1 and V2 it got in between V1 and V2 leads. So in the case of dielectric we get the negative P wave, or if we place incorrectly placed electrode, means in the place of V2 we place V1 and in the place of V1 we place V2 node, then we got a inverted P wave. So it look like this. So we are talking about then QRS complex. So what is QRS complex and when it arises? So QRS complex represents the ventricular depolarization. When ventricular depolarization happens, the QRS complex is takes place. Its normal duration is about 0.08 seconds, which is less than two small graphs. As you can say, this is less than two small graphs. It's not completed the two small graphs. So this is the duration is so this duration is 0.08 seconds and the height is 520 square feet. As you can see, this is about 9 squares. So it is a normal ECG QRS complex. Then Q wave is also known as first wave, which is complex but often absent. So Q wave we have when we start the Q wave in a ECG is the first negative complex where the ECG takes place. So is the first negative complex is most seems to be absent. Q wave present the interventricular septal repolarization. In the first wave of ECG negative depression. So QF is always greater than one third of the height of R wave. As you can say, it is the one third. It should be always greater than the one third height of the R wave, which is greater than 0.04 seconds, which is in abnormal case and represents the old infection. So at last we are going for T wave. How a T wave represents? So it's basically represents ventricular repolarization. So it's repolarization wave, but shows the upward direction because the part depolarized in the last is first to be repolarized. So when a heart is repolarized, it should be go negative. But before repolarize happens, we have to make it depolarized. So that's why the T waveform takes place and is about one third of the R wave. Sometimes we get the T as a negative, which is also sorry. Sometimes we get T as in the inverse wave, which is called as insignia of heart. The tall and peaked R wave is representing the hypercalmia. It is a tall, stromas tall, and the peaker one we can consider as the hypercalmia. The flatted R waves is pericarditis or myocarditis. So if this R wave becomes flat at the top, so we represent the pericarditis and myocarditis. Then we go toward ST segment. So the segment which starts from starting of end of S node and starting of T node, that is called as ST segment. This segment present between S wave and T wave is depends the plateau phase, which duration is 0.0 seconds. So basically, elevation seen in recent MI and hyperkalemia, and depression, which is seen in insignia, digital therapy, and hyperkalemia. So how a conduction takes place? So when SNO starts conducting, the P wave start P peak start P wave start production at the time, but impulse is destroyed at AV node when AC node conduction takes place and it reaches at AV node. Then the P waveform is almost completed. Then when we when the impulse started flowing through a bundle of fish and right and left branches and Purkinje fibers, it's completed the full flow. Then the Q starts uh, QRS complex is started. When it's completed the all around the heart, then and the PQR complex is completed. And after that, it got repolarized and it reversed back to the uh, reverse back to the AC segment and start again conduction. Then the T waveform is produced. As you can show here, so how a P wave is conducting? So P wave, when the arteries are full of blood, the SA node fires. Electrical signal spread throughout the atria and cause them to depolarize. So the first when in SA node start conduction, the P wave is start performing at that time. Secondly, we get PQ segment, which is arterial construction takes place over 100 milliseconds after the P wave begins. So PQ segment is representing the time the signal travels from SA node to AV node. So at SA node, the signal starts processing, and at AV node, it should be reached. So the time travel between these to this is called as PQ segment, which we can refer by this pattern. Then we go for QRS wave. So QL is corresponding to depolarization of the AV node. Where we can see that QF is a depolarization of the AV node when depolarization takes place when depolarization come here and Q plus Q wave the negative wave is takes place at that time. Whereas R wave produced by depolarization of the Purkinje fibers. When depolarization happens through Purkinje fibers, through both of Purkinje fibers, the R wave is represent that fiber which is the thick one, and the S wave being the last phase of the avenue depression, the base of the heart. So when depression is completed at the last stage, the S node is completed, which is going slight negative to the straight line. Then we talk about ST node, ST segment, how ST segment is takes place. So basically, it reflects the plateau in the mitochondrial action post, and this is when the vertical contract the blood pump. So basically, when it happens when all conduction takes place towards the Purkinje fibers and it start depolarizing again, it start pumping blood to the heart again. So at that time, the time interval to take this, it's called as ST segment. So lastly, we discussed about T wave. So T wave is represent ventricular repolarization immediately before ventricular repolarization. So after the segment conduction takes place, after you can see that after conduction takes place, is again repolarized the wave. So this is the wave where T conduction takes place. So now we are going for a demo practical where we have the data source, a text file having entries over 3.3 lakhs plus rows with exempted ECG data input. So there is four requirements we have which are form an ECG waveform from the corresponding given data list. Okay. So filter the high frequency and show the comparison waveform of ECG by taking the average of high frequency. So you have to take the average of the high frequency and show a difference between comparison between waveform and the high frequency we have taken by the average. Then remove the high frequency and redraw the ECG waveform with a smoother frequency. Then we have to redraw the what we have taken as comparison. Then we have to redraw that. Then at last we have to filter out the peak point and mark it in ECG waves. So these four steps we are going to make through a programming. So let's start with the programming. As you can say, we can draw a ECG line only in 15 lines of code. You can say. So basically, it imports pandas library, which is usually for analytics a huge number of data sets, and it creates data frames in block by block. And matplotlib to create the ECG diagram to visualize, which is renamed as PLT, and pandas which we import is renamed as PD. So basically, how we get these two? So if we go to ECG folder, you can say ECG env1 is there. So what is ECG environment? So basically, we are in programming language, we call this as ECG environment, or any programming language, we need an environment, because for a particular program we have to install some packages, so which do not have to our hard disk or hard disk of the laptop. So we install all the packages within this ECG environment, and when we going to perform our programs, we have to activate this environment. So if we say in programming, you can say this the ECG env is activated. As you can see, this ECG env is activated. If I make it deactivated, it will deactivate. You can see the ECG env is now deactivated. Now, or if you try to run our program, it will not run. If I try to Python, then it will show error, no module pandas, because our pandas library is installed within the ECG environment, not in our local environment. So we have, for running this problem with this project, we need an environment, and we have to install these packages. So I already created the environment and already installed these packages, or installed these libraries. So which is environment is called as ECG environment. So let's activate again this. So to activate this, we have to go to that folder, which is called as, we have to make source this. Here our ECG environment, as you can see. So we have to just make this source, then ECG environment. Then we have a bin folder within that. As you can see, within in ECG environment there is a bin folder, and within bin folder there is a activation link to activate this ECG environment. So we have to go to bin, then we have to activate. Now we can say our ECG environment is start activated. Now let's start. Let's first get the output of our four requirements. So we have four requirements. As first was is uh, from given data we have to create a waveform of uh, about 3.3 lakhs data. So let me show how much data we have. So here I am read from ECG data.txt, as you can see. So in ECG data.txt, you can see here is ECG data.txt. In folder wise, I am saying that here is ECG data.txt. If you open this, you can see the number of data which is I can't count down in my in Simplize. So I have to take this programming help. So if I take open this, as you can see, the maximum is 3,38,000 plus data, as you can see. So this much data we are going to handle, and create a ECG waveform from this. So it's a huge number of data, right? So through a graph plot, we cannot draw the ECG by a human cannot draw this much data to a graph plot. So basically, the first one is the ECG signal, and second one is the seconds in microseconds. So what we have done, and then let's see the output. What is the output of this? So you see, there's something is happening, right? There is lots of data. So we see ECG form, but in huge of numbers. Just zoom it out for a segment, for a proper segment. You can see now. It's a is form a ECG data. Now it's a better view. it forms the ECG data, but there is a noise is here, right? It's called, it's because of low frequency. So we already created the our first we already created the first requirement, that is created a waveform. In the second requirement, filter the high frequency and show the comparison waveform of ECG by taking average of high frequency. So in this high frequency, we have to take the average and draw a difference between this and this. So how it takes place? So let's create the second environment and let's run the second one, comparison with real data. So as you can see, this is number of data where to zoom out some certain segments here. Here you can see we compare the and take the average and draw a difference line which is symmetric to that ECG signal, right? This orange color line. We skip the low frequency and take the high frequency data as average and then draw a difference line. This orange one you can see that, right? So in this way, our second requirement is fulfilled. Now in third one, it is saying remove the high frequency and redraw a ECG waveform with smoother frequency. Means we have only considered only this orange signal. We have to remove the blue signal, and we have only for smoother frequency we have only conduct the orange one. So let's see the output first. I will explain how it's going in my programming. I will explain that. So as you can see, this is a smoother version, right? It's a smoother version. If you want to compare, let's take the first. Now you can compare what's the difference in between. So it's a high frequency, the data is here, and it's a low frequency data which is we created by filtering by taking the average and filter out the low frequency. So if you compare both, you can see the difference, how much difference is there. So through Python programming, NumPy is a package which is going to help to take the average and how it works. Let's programmatically discuss. Just a minute. Where third argument is completed, right? So let's check out our fourth argument, which is saying that filter out the peak point and mark it in ECG waveform. So we already created that and run. If we run that, you can see something like this. Let's take a zoom. So here number of data, right? There's something is happening. We take the cross the peak marks, but here we also denoted the peak marks. So we have to resolve that, right? Is the same thing, but there is deflection is there, you can see. So it collected all the mark. Let's refactor this, then we jump to the program. Let's refactor this class. So basically what we are doing, so basically we are considering these, we only need these parts, these points, only these points, only higher points. Don't need any these points. So to get only higher points we need above 360, right? We have to consider, we have to take peak above 360 only. Let's fix this first, then we will consider discuss about other programs. So we have to consider above 360, right? Please remember above 360. Okay, so let's go to here. Is the frequency, is the frequency, yeah. Here we have to specify the height, which we have to specify by height, which is above 360. So now what is going on, we will discuss it, but we have to rerun this. We have to get our feature data first. Yeah, now it seems okay. Yeah, now you can see the only above 350 only we need the peak points. We don't need any peak points to rest of times. So in this way, our fourth requirement also stable, right? Filter the peak point and marking ECG waveforms. This is marking ECG waveforms, right? So let's discuss one by one. What's going on? The first one is the raw data which we get from the ECG text. The resource file is ECG text. So let's take it. We first import pandas as PDs, but basically we import pandas to rename it as PD. Then we matplot dot pyplot rename it as PLT. We created a list here, right? Which is one is ECG and another is T. This is a list, as you can see, which contains two forms. If you don't know how to create a list, you can go to Python and let's see test suppose the data and simply doing this only ECG comma T which denotes the time. So in test we have ECG and time. So in column names, the column names this is ECG and time. So now we are resting ECG where get the ECG from ECG data.txt which is contains 3.3 lakhs above, right? With the data we are conducting from there. So this is at we get ECG the we pass names as ECG and T means we are considering that uh, the data in ECG, the first one is for ECG here. The first one is for ECG and the second one is for time. The second one is for time. So we are considering for this. So is separated by slash t. Slash t is basically denoted as tab, which is separated between the two segments. So by this tab only we segregate. This is the time. Sorry, this is the time and this is the ECG. First element is ECG and second element is the time. So we are segregate by slash t. So in any current condition, so we skipping first 5,000 rows and last 5,000 rows because in first current condition when energy takes place, it started very high frequency. If we don't skip this, there is no problem if you don't skip this, but it's better for a better visual is the skipping is okay. So we are just skipping only 10,000 rows. So we have rest 3.3 lakhs minus 10,000 we have rest data we have. So it's not a major thing we have discussed. So in resting ECG, it is created an object. Now the ECG and T, this is created as object which is read from text file. So to get the ECG each line, we get dot ECG by resting dot ECG and for time we can get resting dot uh, is time. So we can get resting dot t for time and resting dot ECG for ECG value. So these for by these two value we can get these the values which are represented in our input form. So we are going to replace our time by seconds. It's in microseconds. As you can see, it is in microseconds. So we are changing this to seconds and representing the time and replace the time by dividing by 1,000. If we microsecond, if we divide by 1,000, it becomes a sorry, it's millisecond, not microsecond. Microsecond is 10 to the minus 6, millisecond is 10 to the minus 3. So we have to divide it by 1,000 for each are milliseconds. So we have to divide it 1,000 to get the seconds. Now we just send the plot that in x-axis it is time and the y-axis it is ECG and plot that. So everything rest will do Python itself. But these lines, these 5 lines code only represent the ECG waveform. Nothing, just 3 lines. These 4 lines is enough to create a ECG from a given data list. Now, how we compare this, right? We compare by taking the average and see two average parts of that, right? If we run this, the average line we take here, right? uh, how we take the average line and how we created this. So let's discuss in programming how is going it. So these are the same, we taking the first as ECG, second as T, and same as separated by slash T. So let's discuss separated by slash T. So how it will discuss. So let I have a string I store in name. So here what I'm doing, I initiated a name as a variable which is tester1, right? Tester space 1. Now I split with space. It's a single line, okay? It's a single line. Tester1 is a single line. I need two different line. So I split space. So here I use space. So I here use to split it. I use name dot split with space. So when I use name dot split, I store that in a modified name. Now modified name become a list and which have two parameters as tester and one. Now we divide the first one line to different values. Now if now we can access through name we cannot access a tester or one individually, but now we can access tester and one individually. Now how can we access that? Let's see. If I type name 0 plus, so at 0 plus the T is there. As you can say, the tester which is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 place is there. At 0 place T is there. So at 0 I got T. So I modified it and split it, and then now I want to get modified name 0. What should be present? It should be represent the tester because whole tester is replaced at 0 position. Just check. You can see the tester. Now you can get the difference. Why I use split this and make two variables, because this one when we take first one we have to take an individual variable. We cannot take all together. So to take individual variable, this is separated through a tab, right? You can see there is a tab, not a space. So to separate those tabs, here we use slash t. So it will make individual data. So if you try to suppose it is assigned to a variable test. If you try to test 0, then it will get only 3, not 309. And after we split slash t, then if we conduct the place at 0, then it will get whole 309, and at 1 it will get 32298. So let's check in modified name what is one value. As you can see, the one value is one tester one, which as I splitted with space, and modified name I split in modified name. As you can see, I take a variable whose name is tester one. Now I assign it to another which is split by space. Now modified name have two different. One is tester and one is one. So I try to understand that what is the problem with this and what is the difference between name and modified name. If I run name only, you can see tester one. If I run modified name, you can see tester and one, two different variables. So when I want to assign tester from this name, it is impossible to get full tester only, because it is variable. I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't consider only 6 always, because it can vary to 7th place, or it can vary only 5th place. I can't do that. I can do like this name uh, 0 to I get from name test. I get tester from name, but 0 to 6, I'm using an index value which is hard coded, right? So it is a variable. Always there's not necessary that tester will get. It can be smaller one, it can be 4 letters, it can be a larger one like 8 or 9 letters. So we can do like this. So this is the not a financial method, a feasible method. So basically we what we are doing, we just split with the space one, the space between this. So we just split with this. So now let's check another. We have name as tester modifier one. Now we assign that modified name dot split space. So what we are doing here, we are saying, hey, split that name from space and make it in a list as a modified name. Now in modified name, you can see tester one, and from the first one, you can see modified 0 the tester and modify 1 for the 1. So by this we get each row value individually by splitting slash t. This one the slash t. So let me confirm this. Okay, so let's proceed ahead. So I hope you understand why we use this slash t here to separate. So here we is doing same, we convert the millisecond to second and replace to the time values. Then we do wn is 0.1. Wn is a variable, but it's 0.1. So basically we use a cycle signal here. It's we import cycle signal here. So what Cypher does, Cypher is already have a in-app. It has a feature that if one is there, then it takes 500 hertz. Okay. So if one is there, it takes about 500 hertz, but we need only 50 hertz. We have to take average of 50 to 60 hertz, right? So we have to, if one is about 500 hertz, then we are only taking 50 hertz, then we have to divide by 10, right? So it is 0 0.1. So 500 divided by 10, so 500 divided by 50. So we are doing this because we need 50 hertz only. So by the result of this, we can get 0 0.1, right? So after this, we are segregating the low frequency, right? So we segregating the low frequency with the buffer, and the use of 4 is the significant, and Wn is the frequency which frequency is taken, and 4 is the signal, how many signal it will take at a time. So we are considering 4 signal at a time and taking the average of 50 hertz, which is low frequency, and analog false means it will create it will not create analog. If we make analog true, it will complete a straight line, not a not follow our uh, not follow our what our waveform already originally waveform. So let's make it true and let's see what's happening with this. As I make analog as 2, we can see now it's a straight line, complete straight line, nothing, we can compare nothing here. If I zoom it out, it's a complete straight line because we make analog equal to true. When we make analog equal to true, it makes a 0 completely straight line. It is not following our original waveforms, but we want to follow our original waveforms. So we make this false. So it will follow our original waveforms. So basically, it will return A and B, which is segregating portion, and follow path, which is return the follow path for the original signal. Now we are following the ECG signals, right? So we have filter data and we pass the A B parameters to the ECG and ECG signal to the Cypher signal. So it will return. It will sorry, it will return the orange color line, which is which takes the average of the 50 hertz and redraw the ECG signal. Now for comparison, we have to plot our original signal. It is for original signal, as you can say dot ECG is the original signal where we getting from this. This is the original signal, This one is the filter signal. As you can see, this I got this from here, and this is the filter signal, and this is the original signal. So both are corresponding to same time. Time is same, but our ECG value is one is filtered ECG, one is original ECG. So I have to create both and make it so. So after this, if I run the program, it will take the average and show me the average value through different colors. As you can see, it show the low frequency and make the average and make the smoother one, right? The orange one. The orange one is the filter resting data, and the original one, blue color one, is the resting, which is come from direct ECG.text, right? First one and second one. We created two waveforms overlap to each other. So basically, it's overlap to each other. Two waveforms overlap to each other. So now in third case, we have to remove the first signal and only show the filter data. We have nothing to do. Just we have to comment this. In third one only we need to comment this. Rest all these are filter data will show there. Only one signal. So in third one I am doing only this, only comment this. You can see that I'm doing same. I'm already discussed what is ECG and what is T, and what is the function of this, what is we are getting, and why I was doing this to get the seconds, and it is the frequency for 50 hertz. Then we get two dimension positions to perform our filter data. Then we only need to perform filter data. We no need to perform the original data. Sorry, we have to run the third one. So this is the third one. It's completely smoother one, which is our requirement. As you can say, is quite smoother than original signal, right? So let's move towards fourth one. Fourth one is we taking the peak, right? We are taking how we get the peak from the data. We're using same functionality, same. These are the same. These are same. We get the input files. This is the list we created with ECG and time, and then we converted the millisecond to seconds. Then we converted the 500 hertz to 50 hertz. Then we get the two-dimensional location from the by the help of cypher signal. Then we get the filter data from there. Now how we get peak points? Then filter data, we process the filter data and plot there. Now we get the frequency, how to get the peak points. So we are saying to find the peaks, SciPy has already a signal that find the peaks of filtering data with above 360 height. As already I have told you, if I am not mentioning this height, then it will show all the peaks to me. But I don't need all the peaks. I only need which is the highest, most highest. So if I don't give any height, it will show me the both data, both peaks, means in positive side peaks and in negative side peaks. Right, compare the first one and comparing second one. If you zoom more clearly only one, you can see it will keep tracking each peaks, each individual peaks. So how accuracy, you can see that it's 100% accuracy. It takes the all peaks. It takes a mark the all peaks. As you can see, the deviation is 50 hertz above. It will mark all peaks, as you can see, right? So by this, we don't need all peaks. We need the most high peaks, only this. So for this, we can already see that is with above 360, all the peaks are high, right? Above 360, all the peaks are high. So we tell the program that only mark which is above 360, not below 360, right? So we are doing here the height because of that 360. So before that, we are let's do something else. As you can see now, it marks which are above 360. Now let's another requirement. Anyone wants that I need two. I need the most is two requirements, right? So you can see above 340 the two peaks are there, right? If anyone need the most two frequency, the most two peaks I need. So for these two peaks, we have to consider above 340. As you can see, above 340. So if I put the height above 340, it should take the all peaks above 340. Only these two, these two, these two, and these two, like this. Let's try this one. Let's make it 340. Rerun the program. Now you can see there's something reflects. Let's find it out in zoom view. There you can see it contains the last two peaks, right? So here SciPy or PY here a library is very useful to get the average, get the frequency. It's already inbuilt frequencies, and we have to just make some calculation to get the actual frequency, to get the modified whatever requirements we can fulfill by this. So here our first one is over. The first demo practical is over. We created a ECG from this text file, input text file. We compare the high frequency and high by taking the average. Now we remove the original data and make the frequency and make it smoother. We already done this. Then we filter out the peak points as well, right? So we completed the first demo practical. So in Demo Practical 2, we have a data source about 70,000 plus rows with heart rate input data. It has only heart rate input. So requirement is form a heart rate in a waveform from corresponding given data list, which defined with the peak points. So in single requirement, it asks us everything. You see, we have to filter it, we have to make it smoother, we have to make mark the peak points, and we have to show everything here. So let's see the output first, then we discuss the program. So it's a colorful one, right? So what's this? Let's zoom it out. As you can see, it's an actual heart rate monitored ECG system, and we are already marked the picked one as well and make this happen, all of this, right? Yeah, everything is happening here. So how it formed and how we are doing this? Let's go to signal. We are doing the same, but here the input file is heart rate.txt, heart rate data.txt, which is there. Let's show in file. Yeah, this is there. Now one thing we notice, this is separated by comma, right? The first one is separated by tab, but is separated by comma, right? Let's see what we are doing in program. So we're taking this, now we get a comma, right? Let's keep same 5,009 above, 5,000 below. So how many data heart rate text? Let we have to fix this. So as you can see, yes, there is 72,000 plus data, right? We are dealing with 72,000 plus data. So now we're separating this by comma. So I hope you understand why we use comma and why we use uh, class T here and why we use comma here. I am again explaining this why you are using split method. So let's run again. So let we have a demo data which have a simple single line which have some number 2458 comma 453 comma this comma this comma this. Now if we want two, 3 445, and this is all. Let me make it smaller one. Okay, so now it's compatible. So now we get demo data is a complete string of this. So if I print demo data, it will show it's a string value 45, 42, 44, 53, and 56. It's a complete string. If I put what's the type of demo data, which is type of string. As you can see, it's a string. Only it's a name, like a name. So it is string. So we can't find 45 alone, 42 alone. If you want to try to get the, if you think this is a 0 place, 1 place, if you try this, then if you go for demo data, make it 0, you can see the 4 only, because it's a string type, not a list. If it's a list, then it starts from square bracket and ends in square bracket, not in not in double quotes, right? So it's a string. That's why it started with double quotes, ended with double quotes, and in a string is also we can take it uh, as a list, which the 0 place is 4. That's why we get only 4. If we place at 5th place, it is comma. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 42 is showing the 42 like this. If you want that, I am wrong, that 42 is not showing that, let's make it -1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. It should be show the 2, only 2, because at 4 position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At 4 position 2 is only there, nothing else. Yes, you're right, it's 2. Now the problem is how we get separated and get each data from a string. It's not possible to get each element, because string is dynamically can increase and or decrease. But we need individual data with perfect one, right? So in this text, we are here happening is this. First this. In this text file, here happening is this, that in first sentence is take as full, is take as a comma, is take as full string length, but we have to separate the 408 and the 5 to 3 is the different values. So let's take a refactor data and assign the demo data dot splitted by comma, right? So after this, we got refactor data and we got demo data. Let's compare both. So now you can compare the refactor data and demo data, right? The refactor data is something like this, which is 45, 42 is the index position of each element and started with a square bracket and ended with a square bracket. Whereas the demo data is a string type, that's why it's 45, 42, it's within a string, it's like a name, nothing else. So what's the type of refactor data? Let's check the type. So you can see this is a list, and what's the type of demo data? Is a type of string. So that's why we cannot access individually 45 or 42 in a list format. We have to make it split. We have to split this with comma. But you can see in you, if you want to get comma from the string, you can get comma from the string. But we split it with comma, but it excluded the comma. Means there is no comma in between, no comma stored in our list. So basically we splitted it to 45, 42, 40. Each segment we splitted this. So we, if we want to 45 or 42, we go to refactor data and let say them that give me 45 the index value. We pass the index value, it will show the 45. We pass the index value, it will show the 53. So index value is always started from 0. So 45 is at 0 position, 42 is at 1 position, 44 is at 2 position, 53 is at 3 position, and 56 is at 4th position. So if you want 53, then we have to refactor data make it 3. We get 3 because the refactor data at 0, 1, 2, 3, third position. Not we can't say normal count. Our if we say normal count is started from 1, but in programming, it's a list is always started with 0. So if at third position 0, 1, 2, 3, 53 is present. Now by this we can refactor the comma and get each element of the input data. So we get by comma separated and each element of the input data. So it's not deal with only comma, only tabs, only something like that. Not like that. So let's take another example. Let's take a nested data equal to something like 50, 84, which is so we are doing like this. So now nested data is like a string value which is separated by slashes, right? So we if we want to separate each slashes and get the numbers, first number is 84, second one is 23, 42, but it's a string type, right? We cannot get 84 first from first one. If you try to get nested data, the first one means the zero position, it will show 8 because it's a string, and the first one is 0 means 8 at 0 position. Is 0 position is 1 position and it's 2 position. If you try to get the slash, we get at 2. At 2 position the slash is there. So we have to separate the slashes and make the numbers to a list, right? So let's take a filtered data, filter nested data, and make nested data dot split. We tell the program that split the nested data string type by classes. So what we will do, it go to the nested data, find out the classes, divide the classes is the first element, is the second element, then it's third, it's fourth, it's fifth, and it's sixth. So it should be like this. So let's check filter nested data. So now here we go. So you can see the difference the nested data and filter nested data what we are doing here. So 84 we are insert the data with 8423 by slashes, right? And we need individual by individual need we need individual calculation, right? So for this we have to split the slash. Here we split the slash. Now we refactor after after this, in the filtered nested data, it will create a list which is contain each element with index plus 8. Now, if I place nested data, when I try to get nested data 0, I get 8 because it is a string value. Now, if I tried filtered nested data at 0 position, it should be 84 because 84 is the 0th position. Here, if you go for 2 position, is 42. Yeah, it's 42. So I hope you understand how we get segregate from how we get the proper list, how we get the proper number from a string. So basically it's a string type and this we formed it like a number. Now we can do anything from that number. So let's do something with filtered nested data, right? Filtered nested data, we have this. So let's remove all. You can see we have filtered nested data where this as a filter instance. So I already discussed in my previous session what is a loop and what the condition, right? So take the let's do some calculation that in even numbers we will sum 4 and in odd numbers we will sum 5. Okay, sorry, even numbers sum is 10 and we take a sum of 5 in odd numbers. So to traverse each element, we need a for loop for I in filter. Okay. Now if I print I, so to print each element, we have only once one line is needed, that's string, nothing else. So you can say we can traverse each element 84, 823, and we can perform action with each data now. We can do anything with this now. So now we are doing. So our condition is we were to discuss about the even numbers and odd numbers. To find out even numbers and odd numbers, there is mod function is there. We know that what is even number, which is completely separated by sorry, completely divided by two, without without any remainder. Means remainder should be zero, right? It should be the even number. So I'm checking this. If I mod, first of all, we have to check what's the type of 84. Let's change the type. If it's an integer, then we can proceed with direct. Then if it's a string, then we have to convert it to the integer. So it's a string type. You can see it's a string type. We cannot do anything any calculation part with a string with a number. If you try to do with anything with string, it's an exception. Like this, if I try to uh, high plus 3, it will show the error because we cannot do the this part. So here we have like 54 life plus 43, but these two are different types. One is 54 is string type, 3 is number type. So for this we have to convert it to number first. So for this we have to convert it and 54, which is string, then plus 3. Now it can be converted. So for this is a mod function to get the remainder of any number. So if we try to get 43, we know as a odd number, right? If I mod 2, then it will remainder 1, because if we divide 43 by 2, it will remainder 1, means it's an odd number, not a even number. If I divide by 56 mod 2, mod means it will give you the remainder part, not the result. Divide symbol will give you result, and mod symbol give you remainder. It will give you remainder 0, right? So basically, we consider in programming one is as a true and 0 as false. So we are doing here. So we traverse each element, then we are checking if integer of I mod 2 equal to 0, means it's an even number. Then we are print the I int I plus 10. Okay. Now in else part, even that we got the even number, and now in else part we have to sum only 5, right? So we just make it integer, make it I plus 5. Now you can see what is happening. Let me check the filter data once. So now you can see 84 is a even number, right? So in even number, I put a condition and add 10 to that. 84 plus 10, it is 94, right? 23 is an odd number. I'm checking it's a even number, it's correct. Then it's come to else part, then it goes to plus 5. So 23 plus 5, you can get 28, right? So 42 is an even, that's a plus 10 is equal to 52, and 43 again 42 is a 52, again 43 is an odd number, which is 43 plus 5 is called 48, and 44 is a even number, so it's plus 10, so it's 54. So here is a small concept how we are dealing with dealing with each element which is in a which already in a array. So we can do anything with this data also. So here we're doing like this in this program we're doing like this. So here here we calculating the millisecond, converting the millisecond to second, then we are doing the peak per we the sorry, L2F is the heart rate function. As L2F we imported the heart rate functions. Here we can see the heart rate function is there, which is DCG peaks are there and the ECG peaks are there. Here all the we get the we it is getting something, right? It's getting time, hyper and distance. Everything is getting. Then it's presenting in some multiplication is there. NP means is numpy, using numpy, getting the max, getting the mean. So by this, all the calculations there, what I have discussed here is the variation. It's a very complex calculation. You can understand with a very similar way. So is the simplification way where what I'm trying to understand this, what is going on this. So similar, the high tech way is going on there also. So here in fifth one, we getting the DCG peaks. So from DCG peaks, it will return two elements. You can say two position of the graph. Now from DCG, after that we get DECG peaks. It will also return the R wave, and after that we get the D wave, R wave peaks. R wave peaks. It will get remove. It will give the T wave. So after this, we are making a yeah. After this, we getting the difference between resting. We getting the difference between this resting remove T, and we heart rate. We make it into 60. Then you plotting the graph. So in deep function is plotting the graph, and after that the plotting graph is looking like this. Here and the plotting graph with the height, with everything, PQR segment, everything. So here we conclude our demo practical 2 as well. So thank you so much. Any question or any doubts?
Mr. Anil, it is finished?
Yeah.
Okay. So participants, do you have if you have any query, then please raise up your questions so that Mr. Anil is here to answer your queries. Anybody is having any doubt, any query on today's this last session? I think okay, Mr. Anil, I think nobody has raised any question. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your informative and programmable codings and all these things you have explained nicely. And I hope this will be more useful for our participants. And my dear participants, let you understand the situation of all FDP sessions and try to learn all these things, because tomorrow we are going to conduct a test, and the test will finalize you whether you will get a certificate or not from AICTE. So AICTE has given notice to us that we have to upload the marks obtained by the individually test, the common test conducted by us. So that test you have to secure minimum 60% of marks. So today I will share all PPTs of all speakers. So please go through it. And if you have any doubt, anything, you can contact the concerned speaker to get the solution from them. So thank you, Mr. Anil, for your cooperation. Tomorrow we'll meet again. So, so thank you all participants. So today we'll wind up the session, and tomorrow morning we'll meet again at 10 o'clock. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.